Good morning, everyone. My name is Chawanut Purwatana, Plan and Policy Analyst, Practitioner level from the NESDC, and I'll be your Master of Ceremony today. First of all, let me run through the agenda for you briefly. In 15 minutes, we will start the meeting. We'll start off around 10:15 with the welcoming remarks from Mr. Danucha Pichianan, Secretary General of the NESDC, and followed by the welcoming remarks from Mr. Andreas Charles, Director for the OECD Global Relations and Cooperation. And also, followed by the welcoming remarks, we will have the group photo sessions around 10:29. And then we will begin the session 1, which will be the review of the implementation of Thailand Country Program Phase 2, which includes the panel discussions by officials from the OECD and the Thai government who will give the interventions about the selected project under the country program. And we'll move to the session 2 without any breaks, so you can feel free to grab the drinks and the snacks inside the meeting rooms. The session 2 will start at around 11:44, which will be about the reflection on the OECD Thailand's cooperation moving forward, includes Thailand's accession to the OECD and way forwards in terms of the cooperation between Thailand and the OECD. And we'll end with the closing remarks from DSG from the NESDC, Mr. Wanchat Suwankiti, and Mr. Alexander Bomer, Head of South and Southeast Asia Division of the OECD, around 12:30 to 12:35. And after that, you can basically get the coupon that you get from the registration table and take it to the hotel staff and have the lunch at the lunch venue called Flavors at the opposite side of the meeting room. Thank you. I'd like to note again that there will be no breaks in between the two sessions, so you can feel free to grab the snacks and drinks and come inside and participate in the meeting. Thank you. Sorry for the delay, but the meeting will begin in around 10 minutes, so please be patient. Distinguished guests, colleagues, it's a great pleasure to welcome you today to the midterm review of the OECD Thailand Country Program Phase 2. Its goal is to review the achievements and the progress of the implementation of the Thailand Country Program over the past 2 years. In addition, while Thailand has embarked on the OECD accession process, this provides as a platform to exchange on the OECD-Thailand cooperation going forward. We are excited about today's discussion and exchange on the strengthened OECD-Thailand cooperation. I'd like to thank the Organization for the Economic Cooperation and Development, or the OECD, for co-hosting this event with the Office of the National Economic and Social Development Council, or the NESDC. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome Mr. Danusha Pichayanan, Secretary General of the NESDC, who will deliver the opening remarks. Please.
Well, Mr. Andreas Charles, Director for OECD Global Relations and Cooperation, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the midterm review of the OECD Thailand Country Program Phase 2, or TCP2 in short. First of all, I would like to thank the OECD and the Global Relations and Cooperation Directorate and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for your coordination and monitoring efforts in collaboration with the NSDC on the TCP2. Over the past 2 decades, Thailand and the OECD have forged a deep bond with one another. Our long-established relationship has paved the way for Thailand to be the first country in Southeast Asia to participate in an OECD country program. As you all know, OECD Thailand Country Program Phase 2 built on the remarkable achievement of our earlier collaboration under Phase 1, and which significantly advanced Thailand's development in several areas. TCP2 has been designed to support the implementation of Thailand's national strategies and 13 National Economic and Social Development Plan, and it aims to continue advancing Thailand's reform agenda by focusing on 4 strategic pillars: good governance, business climate and competitiveness, social inclusion and human capital development, and green recovery. I would also like to extend my sincere appreciation to all line agencies, both from the Thai side and the OECD, for their dedication and contribution to the effective implementation of 20 projects under the 4 key strategic pillars of TCP2 since it launched in March 2023. I believe today's midterm review of TCP2 will provide us with a valuable opportunity to assess the progress we have made over the past 2 years. The outcome of the project will benefit all Thai people, including both public and private sectors, as they adapt the recommendations and best practices to their respective implementations. Let me give you an example of the projects that have already been completed and published, such as the OECD reviews of Thailand's legal and policy framework for fighting foreign bribery, the OECD review of the corporate governance of state-owned enterprises in Thailand, and the clean energy, finance, and investment roadmap of Thailand. And furthermore, the collaboration with the OECD and the implementation of 2 phases of country program have already reinforced Thailand reform agenda. For instance, Thailand adopted 2 ministerial declarations and signed a letter of intent to join the multilateral convention to facilitate the implementation of the Pillar 2 subject to tax rule. And Thailand has adhered to the Declaration on Transformative Science technologies and innovation policies for the sustainable and inclusive future. And followed by the declaration on protecting the empowering consumer in the digital and green transition. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to reaffirm that Thailand remains strongly committed to deepening cooperation with the OECD. The country program has proven instrumental in supporting national reforms and aligning Thailand more closely with the OECD standards and best practices. Most importantly, it established a strong foundation for Thailand's accession to the OECD. Through TCP2, the critical assessment and recommendation have been provided, which are directly informing our ongoing self-assessment process, particularly in the preparation of the initial memorandum, which analyze the alignment of the Thai laws and regulations with the OECD legal instruments. And moreover, the program also enabled Thai officials to gain first-hand exposure to OECD procedures and working methods, which significantly contributes to our accession effort and support Thailand's vision of attaining OECD membership by 2030. And lastly, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to our distinguished panelists and participants. I strongly believe that the remainder of the day of today's program will to be both informative and engaging, offering valuable insights from experts and line agencies, which ultimately help pave smoother, more efficient path toward the Thailand's OECD membership. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Secretary General, for such an impactful and inspiring speech. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Andres Chow, Director for OECD Global Relations and Cooperations and the OECD Sherpa to the G7, the G20, and APEC to deliver his opening remarks. Please.
Thank you so much, dear Secretary General Danucha, for your remarks. And let me say we're very grateful for this wonderful cooperation we have been enjoying since years with the National Economic and Social Development Council, which is in the roots of OECD Thailand cooperation together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and we are very grateful for your leadership. Let me first apologize for keep you waiting. The good news is that it's not the fault of Thai Airways, it's the fault of Air France, that we got delayed. So any complaints, direct them to Paris and not to Bangkok. I'm coming almost directly from IMF World Bank meetings and G20 meetings in Washington last week. I had 48 hours in Paris. But I told Alex Böhmer, who is heading our Southeast Asia division, I want to be on time. I want to be with you because what we started almost 10 years ago together with the Thailand country program has, sorry? How many? 10 years? 8 years? Has an impressive impact, and it has made an important contributions to Thailand's economic development. It has made important contributions maybe also to Thailand's positioning vis-à-vis the OECD, and we believe it has also supported the ever closer cooperation culminating in Thailand's request for accession to the OECD. But for us, Thailand as a partner is also very important in a regional context. Tomorrow we will have a ministerial level Southeast Asia Regional Forum with my Secretary General, with your Minister of Foreign Affairs and other ministers coming from all over the region, because OECD members have identified Southeast Asia as a strategic priority in 2014, and we launched the regional program of the OECD on Southeast Asia in 2014, and Thailand was one of the co-chairs in the second phase of this program. This mandate was reinforced in 2023 when our members have agreed on an OECD strategic framework for the Indo-Pacific, which has the explicit aim to bring more countries from the region into the OECD. And I'm very glad that Indonesia and Thailand are the front runners, the pioneers from the region to come closer to the OECD. In 2025, Southeast Asia is projected to double its GDP from when the Southeast Asia Regional Program was established in 2014. In Thailand, GDP at purchasing power parity is expected to hit 1.85 trillion US dollars this year. This is almost 80% higher than in 2014. I would not attribute this to our engagement, but what's also true, it's very impressive to see how this economic development, economic and social development in Thailand has taken place. And there is something you are doing right here in Bangkok, and you are doing right in the vision you have developed in the National Economic and Social Development Council for the government of Thailand. The rapid economic growth outpaces global averages and is a truly impressive achievement. It also highlights the importance of Thailand in the region and the global economy. So again, kudos to that, and let's continue to support, to work together for Thailand having this continued impact. As already mentioned, in 2024, we reached a significant milestone when the OECD Council opened accession discussion with Thailand. This was the outcome of, as I said, more than 2 decades of engagement of deepening engagement of Thailand with the OECD, and you, Secretary General, you have played a crucial role to that end. The accession process is now well underway, managed by our colleagues in the legal director. There's Nathalie Limbassin with us today. But this country program can complement what we are doing in the accession process with policy advice and with advice and project which makes Thailand's growth and development prospects even stronger, which at the end of the day is mutually reinforcing to what we want to achieve in the Thailand's accession process to the OECD. The creation of Thailand country program in 2018 was a landmark moment. As the first Southeast Asian countries to benefit from an OECD country program, the Thailand country program demonstrates how Thailand has long been a leader in building close ties between the OECD and the region. So thank you very much indeed for that. We believe, and our assessment shows that the country program has made excellent progress. I want to highlight here 3 issues. First, the Thailand country program is a pathway to reform. One of the notable reforms is the Act on Legislative Drafting and Evaluation of Legislation in 2019, which fosters integrity in decision-making processes. Second, an important component in the program is mutual learning, reviews, workshops, capacity building activities to bring Thailand closer to OECD standards, for example, on anti-bribery, good statistical practices, state-owned enterprises in particular. Third, tomorrow we will launch the peer review of Thailand competition law and policy in Bangkok. This report aims to strengthen competition laws and institutions to enhance the country's economic performance. And let me tell you that we are not telling you or Thailand what to do here. This is a process of, let's say, mutual learning from each other, and it's also a process where we're very grateful for Thailand bringing into its expertise into OECD processes. We reached, as I said, a historic milestone when the OECD Council opened accession discussion with Thailand in June 2024, following Thailand's request to start the accession process in February 2024. This process will reaffirm the role of the OECD as a reliable partner that can support an emerging economy to embark on structural reforms that yield sustainable economic growth. We in the OECD, we are committed to working with all Thai stakeholders throughout the process to find solutions to all social, economic, environmental challenges by building better policies for better lives, which is the leitmotif, the motto of the OECD. And for that, we provide data and evidence. Since the accession process started, over 10 ministers and many senior officials from Thai line agencies have attended OECD committees, forum, networks meeting, clearly showing Thailand's commitment to the process. Just last month, we were honored to have Prime Minister Shinawatra deliver video remarks at the OECD Regulatory Policy Committee meeting, which strongly reaffirmed Thailand's commitment to becoming an OECD member. Tomorrow, as I already mentioned, Thailand will co-host the OECD Southeast Asia Regional Forum, which continues the close OECD-Thailand partnership and which underpins the former co-chairmanship of Thailand in the program. We look forward being joined here in Bangkok by our Secretary General, high-level representatives, ministers, both from Southeast Asian countries and OECD members. So this shows also that Thailand can help us to build bridges between the current OECD members, accession countries, and other countries in the region. And I'm very pleased to inform you that besides the accession processes in Indonesia and Thailand, we have also signed memorandum of understanding with Singapore, with the Philippines, and we are increasing also our efforts in other countries in the region, such as Laos or Malaysia. So Thailand, again, together with Indonesia, can be one of the front runners in the region in this development. We encourage the Thai government agencies to actively participate in our committee meetings, project accelerate mutual learning process, ensure that Thailand quickly harness the benefits of the accession discussion. And this is something we will discuss over the next 2 days more in detail. There will be accession examinations, as said, guided by our legal directorate and guided by our substantive committees. This is something where Thailand can probably also benefit from the conversations taking place in Paris. Looking ahead, the latest OECD forecasts show some softening of global GDP growth prospects, moderating from 3.2% in 2024 to 3.1% in 2025 and 3.0% in 2026. And I'm not speaking about the uncertain global economic environment, but we cannot neglect that we are living challenges times. But I wanted to give you all the assurances that even in this context, or even more so in this context, we will continue to deepen our engagement with Southeast Asia, including with Thailand as a strategic priority. The Southeast Asia Regional Program, the phase 2 of the Thailand country program, Thailand's accession process will be at the core of shaping this cooperation. We believe that in times of economic uncertainty, multilateral cooperation is even more important than ever. Multilateral cooperation is even more important than ever. And in this context, the OECD and Thailand will keep working together to support policies that encourage economic growth, raise productivity. At the same time, our cooperation will support Thailand's domestic reform agenda, deliver resilient economic development for Thailand. OECD expertise across macroeconomic policy making, global supply chain resilience, supporting SMEs, the digital transition, the green transition can support Thai authorities in delivering their economic and social priorities. Distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, today's midterm review of the country program allows us to reflect on the implementation of the OECD recommendation aimed at bolstering domestic reform in Thailand. It also provides an opportunity for us to explore the way forward for the OECD and Thailand partnership when we conclude the Thai country program in March 2026 and when the baton will pass over to be carried fully by the accession process, but we will continue to engage with you on the domestic resource path, building on the conversation in the accession discussion and building what Thailand needs. Because Thailand is such a strong player in the region, and you can even be a stronger global locomotive, and the OECD can be a partner in this respect. And with that, I say Kop and Kap, and the Olympic Games for today are open. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such an insightful remark, Mr. Andreas. But now I would like to ask you to please remain on the stage for the photo session. Oh, right. Yeah.
แล้วเดี๋ยวพอถ่ายรูปเสร็จนะครับเสร็จรูปหลายๆคนแล้วพอเขาอีกขึ้นครับเดี๋ยวเข้าไปจับมือกัน
Next, I'll invite Mr. Wanchat Suwangiti, DSG of the NESDC, to the stage, Mr. Alexander Bomer, and Mrs. Salini Ponprapai to take the photo session. Now, I would like to invite all the panelists from both sessions and the two moderators to come up to the stage and join the third photo session. Now, while we wait for the staff to setting the scene for the next session, I'll give you some introduction about session one. Session one is the review of the implementation of Thailand Country Program Phase 2. The session is organized in three parts. Firstly, Mr. Alexander Bomer will set the scene for the session and will provide an overview of the Thailand Country Program Phase 2. It will follow by the panel discussion by officials from the OECD and the Thai government who will give intervention on selected projects under the framework of Thailand Country Program Phase 2. This will include two video presentations from the OECD, and the session, if time permits, will close by the Q&A, if the time permits, and to allow the active engagement with the audience. Now, may I invite Mr. Alexander Bomer, Head of South and Southeast Asia Division, to set the scene and provide the overview, please.
Sabodikap, thank you so much for the great turnout and your continued interest. Thanks to Secretary General Danusha from the NSDC. Thanks to obviously our director from GSE for the opening and support. Thanks to the other agencies here present today and your hard work on this country program too. And thanks to also the OECD colleagues who came and traveled to attend and animate our discussion. As we heard, ladies and gentlemen, from SG Danucha and our OECD director, the Thai OECD cooperation has been going from strength to strength. So there are quite a few points where important progress has been made. You see some key milestones here on the screen. Already in 2005, we had the then Prime Minister of Thailand addressing the OECD Council and talking about strengthening OECD-Thailand cooperation, including potential membership. And then in 2018, Thailand took over the co-chairmanship of the Southeast Asia Regional Program. Together with Korea, and had an extended period until 22 to lead this important regional initiative, which underlines the fact that all 38 member countries of the OECD consider Southeast Asia as a region of strategic priority. And then the first Thai country program was launched in 2018, and it has actually brought us closer together with the Thai agencies. It was kind of a get-to-know-each-other program, but it also delivered impressive achievements like 16 policy reviews which were conducted. And Thailand got closer to 4 committees, including participation status in some of them. So these were all really important steps going forward, leading then to the country program 2, which is basically, you can see here, and in its entirety, and which is focusing, and we meant it to focus from the beginning more on bringing Thailand closer to OECD legal instruments, to OECD standards, but also to OECD committees. And that was a very good decision in a way we made together with you at that point when we launched it. Because it basically was a perfect preparation for what came finally the accession letter request in February 2024, and then the roadmap launch in 2024 as well in October. So it was a perfect preparation for the Thai agencies and also for our system, because as Andreas highlighted, this is a mutual learning. You know, our colleagues and our committees, our 38 member countries learn also from Thailand what is good practice in the region, what are you norms and regulations and institutions, and how can we also in OECD benefit from that. So you saw basically the 4 pillars and 20 projects reaching from good governance over business climate development, social inclusion, but also the green recovery, which put together this second country program, which started in 2023. And we are in a very good phase, I think, in today's midterm evaluation. And let me just, because the SG and also Andreas highlighted a few key deliverables, but maybe highlight a few other key deliverables so that we really pay full justice to the comprehensive reach. I want to highlight maybe under the issue of strengthening integrity policy at the subnational level, the important work which has been done with the Integrity Project, where a workshop on whistleblower protection at national level was recently organized, and a report on whistleblower protection is prepared. It's a technical but important issue for strengthening integrity in any administration in the world, and there's quite a bit of good practice which can be shared. Then secondly, in the area of sustainable infrastructure, we have responsible business conduct work, very importantly, a report on responsible business conduct for sustainable infrastructure supported by the SEPA project, and I'm happy that Douglas is here to further talk about it in a minute. Then also in the area of improving social and skills, important work on education statistics. The OECD is, apart from its committees and standards, also a host of statistical data which is very important for achieving a more evidence-based policy making, which is even more important nowadays than before. So Thailand, as a result of this project, became a participant in the OECD's Education Policy Committee, which traditionally is quite a committee which is not so open for partner countries. So I think it's quite an achievement that Thailand has been able to do that. And then, of course, the infrastructure project and the RBC report I just mentioned. Maybe just to sum up some of the key achievements of the Thai country program in the second phase. Obviously, it paved the way for the accession process, which I have elaborated, but it also conducted some 20 workshops, seminars, and capacity building activities, very importantly. 10 staff on loans to the OECD Secretariat, and more will join in 25 have been conducted. I recommend this. It's very important, and we find it very useful having officials from Thai agencies. In my team, we hosted a few of them coming to Paris for a couple of months and working with our colleagues in the different directorates and learning in the way and bringing, again, also the Thai experience to the table. So this is a program we want to, if anything, want to expand to more agencies. And I think that was already a good start here. And then, of course, we also overall connected Thai agencies stronger with the OECD, which led to, and that's my final slide, also measurable convergence of OECD standards on the one hand and Thai legislation on the other. And of course, again, this is an important preparation for the accession process, because in the end, the accession process is about convergence of Thai laws and institutional capacities with OECD standards. So we have made quite a bit of progress here. So I want to highlight, it was mentioned before, our anti-bribery convention, which is a particularly important instrument because it's a legally binding international treaty, and the related revisions of the criminal liability of representatives of legal entities, which is always the first step to get closer to this convention. But then also the really exciting work on regulatory impact assessment and good regulatory practices, and how this is reflected now in your Act on Legislative Drafting and Evaluation of Law. So I think regulatory reform is obviously, again, a really modern and hot topic in a way in OECD member countries and in partner countries. In closing, just to say that looking forward to our discussions now in the panels and highlight the great synergies we have now with the accession process, of course, and as others have said already, of course, we are also here to continue our support to Thailand. And that includes on issues of current geo-economic challenges. Multilateral cooperation is important as ever before, and especially the evidence-based approach of the OECD and the way it is structured in committees where 38 member countries and their partner countries, like including Thailand more and more, try to find common agreement on subjects where it's possible. And on the technical level, it is often possible, actually, because technical experts have similar backgrounds and similar cultures. So that's the process which we want to, of course, now reinforce. And with many compliments again to the Thai agencies and to the great leadership of Secretary General Danusha from NESDC and his colleagues, and also the Foreign Minister represented here by Kun Salina. I thank you very much for your attention and wish you a good discussion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alexander Bomer, for giving us the overview of the implementation of the TCP2. And from now on, I would like to invite the moderator of the session and all the panelists, namely, first, the moderator of this session, Mr. Thattai Kirati Phongphaiboon, Director of International Strategy and Coordination Division, the NESDC. And following panelists, Mr. Natha Pachayut, Senior Advisor, Office of the Public Sector Development Commission. Mr. Ori Schwartz, Head of Competition Division, OECD Directorate for Financial and Enterprise Affairs. Mr. Pirapat Dantawanit, Policy and Plan Analyst, Expert Level, Macroeconomic Strategy and Planning Division, NESDC. Mr. Bante Lapgeson, Director, Multilateral Cooperation Unit, Bureau of International Cooperation, Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education. Ms. Suthasini Glaugitigun, Plan and Policy Analyst, Senior Professional Level, Department of Alternative Energy Development and Efficiency, Ministry of Energy. And last but not least, Mr. Douglas Herrick, Policy Analyst, Finance, Investment, and Global Relations Division, OECD Environment Directorate. And I'll hand over the floor to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, DMC, and welcome all of you to the first sections of the TCP review, midterm review today. And we have 6 panelists joining us today here in the room, and we're going to have like 2 more panelists joining us from the video, right, recording. And so my name is Thattai Kirati Phongphaiboon. I'm the Director of the International Strategies at NSDC, and today I'm honored to be the moderator for the sessions. And the question is very straightforward to all of you guys, because you are the one who conduct the programs, the project under the TCP2, and I know that there are a number of things to do. The output and something like the lesson learned or the experiences. I want you to share the experiences you got from the country programs, the project under the country program to the audience. Today we have 4 pillars of the TCP2, and I want to go on one by one, the first pillar and then the second pillar and the third and the fourth. And for each pillar, we're going to have like 2 representatives from OECD and also the Thai agencies. And sorry for this, but I can give you just only 6 minutes each to brief about the projects and the deliverables that you have done. After that, we will open the floor to other questions. Okay, for the first one, I would like to turn to the first pillar, the good governance. Today we have Mr. Natha Pachayut, the senior advisor from the Office of the Public Sector Development Commission, or OPDC of Thailand. I know that you have done a number of the projects with the OECD, I think 2 or 3 projects, and if you please share the experiences or some outputs that you got and public to the website or to the OECD website, it would be great. Thank you very much. Yep, the floor is yours.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. It's a good opportunity to share what we've done and what we plan on doing moving forward. The OPDC, or the Office of Public Sector Development Commission, is responsible for, I think, 3 projects under CP2, namely integrity review, which the OECD already spoke about, so I won't spend too much time on that. The second is promoting open and connected government. The third is preparing the government for the future. And for this current year, we are focusing on becoming net zero country. And I will tell you a little bit about that. So with limited time, I won't spend any time on explaining what these projects are, but I will try to go straight directly to the impacts that we have made. With regard to integrity review, we are now working with relevant agencies in the anti-corruption sector, okay, covering the entire spectrum of government officials, from the highest level to the lowest level of government officials, because we have separate agencies dealing with different levels of corruption. Okay, so we are trying to translate best practices into tangible results. With regard to open and connected government, this is very exciting for us because open government is a cornerstone of the Thai public sector reform strategy. And we aim, I had a discussion with the OECD in Manila recently, and he said that the OECD aims to make open government a governance culture, so it becomes an integral part of everything a government does. So I think this is essential in this day and age. Citizens have to feel empowered, citizens have to feel that they have a voice, and we feel that by allowing citizens, communities, PSOs to participate in problem solving, we can come up with better solutions. There are a few examples. Chiang Mai, PM 2.5. We involve farmers, we involve the private sector, we involve multiple agencies collaborating towards decreasing or lowering levels of heat spots, stop farm-related burnings. For example, in Saraburi, we're also working with the communities, with the private sector, with PSOs, to encourage more forestation, reforestation in some cases, and planting more trees to make sure that they offset the carbon emission generated by factories. Also, we have been working closely with the UNDP, developing idea for government platform. In Thai, it's called Bok Daoถึงรัฐ. And essentially, it is a platform allowing citizens to voice their concerns, to give advice. That's the easy part. The difficult part is having procedures in place to translate those advice and recommendations into policy formulation process and eventually into implementation. The third is net zero. Net zero also coincides with the government's commitment to the foreign community. I think the government has already made it clear that we'll become a net zero country by the year 20, you can ask them, 2050. And it is not just the OECD we are working with on net zero. Thailand is committed to reforming in accordance with Be Ready, the new World Bank initiative, replacing the old ease of doing business. And Be Ready stresses 3 pillars. One is gender equality, the second is digital government, the third is green. So we are evaluating what the public sector can do to drive the green wave, that's what we call it internally. And I think my 6 minutes is probably up, so I'll just leave it at that. And I would like to say that the OECD has been instrumental in allowing us access to best practices which we can pick and choose to adapt to our own situations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senior Advisor Natha, because I know that for the OPDC you have done the project with the OECD since the CP phase 1 and continue to the phase 2, and I see the key impacts that you just mentioned. And next, I have another project under the Pura one. We have the video presentations from Mr. Daniel Tranka, the Deputy Head of Divisions of the OECD Public Governance Directorate.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, sure. And if you are ready, please.
My name is Daniel Tranka, and I'm a Deputy Head of the OECD Regulatory Policy Division. I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to present here the main conclusion of a review of regulatory policy in Thailand that we carried out as the OECD in cooperation with the Office of the Council of State in 2024, and that was published earlier this year. Thailand has been implementing good regulatory practices into its regulatory landscape since the introduction of the Constitution in 2017. I would like to in particular highlight the 2019 Act on Legislative Drafting and Evaluation of Law that established the Office of the Council of State as the regulatory oversight body and introduced several important regulatory management tools, such as Regulatory Impact Assessment, or RIA as we like to call it. We as the OECD were able to witness this for the first time in 2020, when as part of the first Thailand country program, we carried out a diagnostic scan of Thailand's regulatory management and oversight reforms. Following this report, Thailand has made really encouraging progress in implementing regulatory policy and regulatory management reforms. Namely, in 2021, the government introduced a so-called Central Law Portal that centralizes all communications with stakeholders and all public consultations to one place. Also, in 2023, the RIA requirement was extended to basically all secondary and subordinate regulations that might affect people and or businesses. And also, in the meantime, over 200 ex-post reviews of the existing stock of regulations have been conducted, with many resulting in improvements to the current stock of legislation. Despite this significant progress, our recent review that was carried out as part of the second OECD Thailand country program identified several gaps and challenges that the Thai government might still need to address, and we provided some recommendations on how to do this. In the area of governance, we feel that the commitment to evidence-based and participatory decision-making is high, and we recommend to continue with such a commitment that might be more cemented by developing a better regulation action plan, which would include clear targets and clear deadlines for all participating ministries and other agencies. This would also allow to enhance the monitoring and evaluation schemes and report to the Prime Minister's office annually on achieving the targets in the action plan. This also requires stronger coordination across the whole administration, including establishing positions of better regulation leaders or champions in individual ministries and agencies, and closer cooperation with the OCS. Regarding regulatory impact assessment, we found out that the general knowledge across the administration is quite good, but still the awareness of the goals and methods and objectives of regulatory impact assessment could be strengthened and awareness increased. Also, the role of the oversight body, OCS, could be strengthened, and OCS should be given necessary competencies to require better analysis in case they find the quality of RIAs insufficient. It is crucial to start with the process of impact assessment at the very beginning of the legislative process. And what can help in this aspect might be the establishment of a forward-looking legislative planning process that would help also to target scarce resources on the most important and most significant regulations with the highest potential impacts. Regarding stakeholder engagement, I have already mentioned that the introduction of the Central Portal for public consultations has been a significant step in the right direction. However, we feel that, for example, the minimum consultation period should be still extended to allow sufficient time to all stakeholders to provide comments. We also think that the oversight of the quality and the extent of stakeholder engagement processes should be strengthened, including through adopting a monitoring and reporting system for public consultations. As I've already mentioned, improving a forward planning of the legislation making process could also improve with planning consultations. Putting legislative drafts online might not be enough, and therefore new methods also need to be used to engage with stakeholders sufficiently early in the process to make sure that their comments and views are taken into account throughout the whole legislation making process. The next chapter speaks about the reviews of the existing stock of regulations, the ex post reviews of regulation. And while again there has been a significant progress, these reviews have proven to be quite resource intensive. Analytical capacities in individual ministries conducting those ex post reviews must be strengthened, and ministries need to focus and target their reviews on regulations with the most significant impact. Over the medium term, we think that the process of ex post reviews should be systematized through defining and enforcing clear guidance quality, creating multi-stakeholder groups that would accompany the government in the review process, and also better linking the review process with the process of developing new regulations. Finally, regulatory delivery, the way regulations are implemented and enforced and compliance with them is ensured, doesn't seem to be a part of the better regulation toolbox, which is the situation that is very similar in most of the OECD countries. This is why we recommend to Thailand to adopt a whole of government policy on regulatory enforcement and regulatory delivery to help them to meet their objectives of regulatory policy reforms. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a very brief overview of the main conclusions and findings and recommendations of our recent regulatory policy review of Thailand. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tranka, and the report of the project was launched in parallel with the delicate workshop hosted by the OCS this morning as well. You can see the report in the OECD website. And for the second pillar, the business climate and competitiveness, today we have Mr. Orishwas from the OECD Directorate for Financial and Enterprise Affairs with us today. I know that you are hosting a series of the workshop in Bangkok and about to launch the peer review of Thailand competition law and policy. Could you please tell us about this and the details of the project?
Sure. So first, good morning, and thank you very much for the invitation. Very, very happy to be here in Thailand. As part of the Thailand country program, we were committed to do basically three things. First, a peer review of Thailand's competition law and policy. Second, 4 capacity building workshops. And third, co-organize the Thailand National Competition Day. I should start by saying that our main interlocutors in Thailand is the Trade Competition Commission of Thailand, the TCCT. But we firmly believe that competition is a wider issue that has to do with, again, a whole-of-government approach, not just the local competition authority. So what we've done so far, we have focused on the peer review. A peer review is a process in which Thailand is assessed against OECD best practices and international best practices in terms of competition law and policy. The review is done by the peers. So it's not the OECD Secretariat who's reviewing Thailand, but Thailand's peers from the OECD Global Forum on Competition. You can see the process here. The process took place mostly during 2024. The last part was, so far, was the review that took place in the OECD Global Forum on Competition in December. After which we produced the final report and recommendation. And tomorrow we are going to launch this report. Our Secretary General will be there to support this launch. Let me now touch very briefly upon some of the key recommendations which were made. We'll focus on 4 of them. First, we've seen in the last couple of years a serious progress which was made in competition enforcement. We encourage Thailand and the TCCT to follow this path, to further strengthen competition enforcement, especially in the field of cartels and mergers. Second, in the Thai competition law, there are several exemptions from competition law. The report encourages Thailand to reconsider these exemptions, particularly when it comes to state-owned enterprises. Third, it seems that some of the decisions which are made in the enforcement of competition law are not published, are not fully transparent to the public, in some cases even to the parties. So we encourage Thailand and the TCCT to increase the transparency of their decisions. This is crucial, I would say, also to enhance competition culture within Thailand, because when decisions are made public, it gives the opportunity also to the business sector to learn about the policies, the views, the interpretation that the competition authority is taking towards the competition law. So it has a wider benefit. And finally, to follow all these recommendations, we believe that the TCCT will need to further consider how to increase its effectiveness, and also perhaps the government may want to have a look at the resources and to examine whether the resources that the TCCT currently have are sufficient to address all these challenges. Luckily, I would say we now starting the accession process of Thailand, and the accession review that Thailand will go through is quite similar to the peer review, which was now which is now being finalized, and this should give kind of a heads up to all relevant interlocutors in Thailand, kind of to get wider views on how to better align their competition policy and law with international best standards. And hopefully, when we formally start the accession process, things will go faster and smoother. So what we still have in front of us, the workshops. So we're doing 4 workshops. We did one yesterday. We're doing additional one today, and we'll do 2 additional ones in October. As you can briefly see, the 2 first workshops are more about strengthening core competition law enforcement. The next ones are more about engagement of competition law with others. So first, engaging with the international competition community, and second, perhaps most importantly, engaging with stakeholders within Thailand, so promoting competition culture within Thailand. And finally, as I was saying, in October we'll have the Thailand National Competition Day. Hopefully it will be open, or our Deputy Secretary General will join this event. Sorry. This is it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ori. And that's fantastic. I see the cooperation between OECD and the Thai agencies. Now turn to the economic dimensions. The Mr. Peter Pat from NSDC. I have seen a number of the economic survey from the OECD. I think 2 editions already, and another is coming this year. Could you please tell the audience about the projects and the deliverables? The floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Thattai, and it will be my honor to be here to be as a representative of the NESCC. Actually, you might know that during the country program, NESCC is the main agency to coordinate between each project, but we also have our own project that we have to conduct closely with the OECD. From my side and from the macroeconomic office, we have 2 projects. First is the maintaining a sound economic policy through the second economic survey. So this is conducted with the economic department, OECD economic department, to conduct the second economic survey. And another project is the boosting productivity. For the first project is the economic survey. This is the seminal report of the OECD that conducting by the economic department. This will provide the overview picture of the country and also the comprehensive recommendation to each country. Now OECD conduct around 50 economic survey of OECD member and non-member, not only the accession country like Thailand, Indonesia, but also another non-members like China or Vietnam. So and for the OECD member, they have to conduct this survey every 2 years. So it means in 1 year we will see the country survey around 25 to 30 report each year. And for Thailand, we have the first survey in 2017 that under the country program 1, and the second in 2020 2023, which is the country program 2. So the process is similar to many reports. We have structural missions, we have policy missions, and also after that, we have to submit this report. The secretaries, the OECD secretary have to review in the EDRC meetings. It held on July of 2023, and we also have launching event after it's been approved by the EDRC. So we have launching event in December 2003 that attended by Dr. Luis Demero, currently the director of the country-based economic divisions of the OECD. So in the report, I cannot go in the detail of this report, but overall, in the second survey, they have a 2 chapters. The first chapter in every country report will be provide a macroeconomic overview of the country with recommendation on monetary policies, overall macro review, and also like fiscal policy, competition policies, and the second chapter of the second survey is about the green transitions. So they have a recommendation related to about our environmental issue. So why this survey is important? We aim to have like every 2 years of these surveys, same as the OECD members country. And during the accession process, every country required at least 2 surveys. The first survey is before the accessions. So we use the second survey as the review of the country before the accession process. And at the end of the accession process, we need another one. But we not like do the second survey and wait another, let's say 2-3 years, say 3 to 4 years to have another one. So we aim to do same as the member country to have every 2-year review. Because this is a continuous work, the key recommendation, as you see on the right-hand side, if you want to read the whole thing, you can download from the website or this QR code. But I cannot go to the whole the recommendation on fiscal reform, monetary policy setting. But because now we are during the process of the economic survey 3 that will be finished within this year, and we expect to have a launching event in the December of this year. There is one part of the economic survey that will bring the key recommendation from the previous survey. So it means the column on the right-hand side will be on the left-hand side is the next survey, and there will be the right-hand side will be what the Thai government do during these 2 years. For NDSCC, we provide them all. We provide the OECD all the policies, implementations, or in the news. Policy of Thailand that we are doing these 2 years, what we use from the recommendation of OECD to show our ambitious to improve our house. Unfortunately, there will be some policy recommendation that we have, okay, Thai government do nothing about this policy reform. About this, I mean, they recommend us, but we not follow the recommendation. And the importance of this survey, because the EDRC is the last committee that will review Thailand before the formal evaluations about the accessions. And this is because it is the continuous process. We do it every 2 years. And now we are under the economic survey 3 that including 4 chapters. The first chapter is the same, it's about the macroeconomic review. Of course, the recommendation from the second review, second survey will be here, and what is the progress that Thai did. And the second chapter will be about the business sector productivity. And the third chapter, the in-depth chapter about informalities. Because in the first survey that we did 5 years ago, there's about the labor and the labor quality and partially about the informalities. And the fourth chapter is about the climate change. This is related to the second survey. So they will also not only review current situation of Thailand, but also follow the recommendation from the previous surveys. So that's why the economic survey is very important for our accession process and for Thailand. And of course, for NDSCC, the recommendations will be our key policy agenda. but we cannot accomplish all this alone. We need the coordination from every relating agencies to follow this, to show the OECD that we are very serious about improve our house, and then we are ready to join the OECD as we expect. So that's our first project and the economic survey. Now we are already scheduled to have the evaluations on the September 16. The second project is the boosting productivity. The boosting productivity is the project that conducted by the economic department and also so the OECD economic department and the directorate for science, technology, and innovation. So there's two departments together, and for NSDC we also macro science and also the competitiveness science to responsible for this project together. Actually, these projects aim to try to find the best way to formulate the productivity for Thailand. As we can see from the graph that Thailand experienced the sluggish growth, this is mainly attributed to our low productivities. And this project is aimed to strengthen our productivity analysis in order to formulate the best policy to sustain and enhance our productivity, and in order to increase our growth and to reach the high-income country as our goal. I think I run out of time, but I will go briefly to the results. So the key finding. First key finding is they find that the Thailand have very fragmented in terms of the institution that related to productivity enhancement. And they also review all the work that related to productivity that about the Thailand productivities, and we found that most of the policy recommendation is going to the capabilities recommendations, not the financial incentive. And they have the policy recommendations first about the institutional reform and also the macro level that related to reform the database about the productivities. If you are interested to this project, we will have the official launch of this report on June 19 this year. So it's in next month. So if you are interested, just follow the NSDC website and you can join our event to launching the boosting productivity report next month. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pirapat, for this. And actually, when you can download the full report when it gets published, right? Either on the OECD website and the NSDC website as well. Okay, let's move to the third pillar, the social inclusion and human capital development. Today we have Director Pantep Lapgeson from the Ministry of Education. Since you are responsible for 3 projects under the TCP2, could you please share the progress of the initiatives and explain how they aim to enhance the quality of education in Thailand? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. At first, the Ministry of Education would love to welcome the OECD delegation to Thailand on this mission. On number 3 numbers of the social inclusion projects, namely the improvement of the statistical data. The second one would be in the developing modern teacher, and the third one would be on the skill strategies. Mostly these 3 projects cannot be done only by the Ministry of Education itself, but with other 2 ministries, namely the higher education, research and innovation, and of course the Ministry of Labor. So on the crux of the cooperation, we have worked closely with valuable staff of the Directorate of Education and Skill and under the Education Policy Committees to work on these 3 projects. In terms of the data, statistical improvement report, I'm pleased to announce that the workshop that we have done in the past year and a half lead us to, for the very first time, ensure the statistical reporting process, as the director mentioned this morning, education at a glance. So we plan next year that the number of Thailand, whether it's going to be good or bad, going to be reported in that prestigious report to map out the skill and development and knowledge abilities of Thai students comparing to the other 36 members of OECD. Quite tempting and interesting enough, but the learning curve of us comes from the workshop, whether how can we align with the result of the data collection process and reporting, and how we improve the data quality. So the working partnerships among intra departmental cooperation, namely NSO, National Statistic Organization, or various departments among Ministry of Education and Higher Education would be the crucial part on this working process. The second project would be on the modern teachers. Way back on the CP1, 7 years ago, they tried to focus on how Thailand can change the subject-based content to be the standardized based curriculum by adding up on the element of teacher quality improvement, both for the newcomers in the Faculty of Education and also on the professional training throughout the school in Thailand. On this time, we focus on how to standardize units of teacher qualities together, just because it runs from one agency to the next. And we have around 7 standards altogether without close knit together. So OECD comes with a peer review from friends, just like Australia and New Zealand, help us to understand how we can standardize several teacher professional training up into one unit, and how we can make it at the national roadmap on how we can standardize teacher through Faculty of Education, also throughout the school system. That would be a tempting part. We hopefully that in the next 3 or 4 years, Thailand gonna enter to the World Survey on Teacher Quality, TALIS, as OECD just would love us to do. Last but not least, in terms of the skill development, the skill strategy that work closely with 3 ministries help us to map out which is the strategy part that Thailand can align with OECD partnership to help to strive on the 21st century skills, especially in the volatile world of business. That would be the thing that these 3 projects under the social inclusion program try to do. Last but not least, I think 3 layers of result can be seen and witnessed by all stakeholders. Of course, we work under the EDPC, one of the 26 main committees of OECD as the participant members. That would be for sure under CP2. But I think in the inner layers of that, it helped 3 ministries of Thailand that sometimes we work in a silo, but not in a good cooperation, to talk in the same language by OECD encouragement. For example, how to come up with the good statistics, how to come up with the new strategy for modern teacher, and of course, what type of the skill strategies that Ministry of Education, Higher Education can work with the Ministry of Labor. That would be the second layer of that. On top of that, NEADC would love to push forward the idea of the national strategies that we have long planned for the human capital part. That would be the national driving force to push forward the all pool together of the action through OECD membership and accession plan. So I would love to encourage all of the social inclusion partners to work together as the working groups to try to pinpoint what type of the immersion topics that OECD can help us in the near future, and through the accession process in the next 6 years, how we can pull up all the strength to pull in all of our reform process on top of the being the full membership under the time frame. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Pantev. Two interesting points from your presentation is that one is the collaboration history of agencies, not just only one. Sorry, hello. Not only one agency can do, but we have to coordinate with others. And the second one is the implementation of the recommendation that contribute to the reform of the Thai education system. Next, we turn to Mr. Bart Stott from the OECD Skills Study Directorate, and he will come with the pre-recorded presentations. The floor is yours, Mr. Bart.
Right, good morning everyone. So I'm Bart Staats, a policy analyst at the OECD Center for Skills. And I would like to thank you for inviting me to speak at this event. It's really an honor and a pleasure to present to you findings of the OECD Skills Strategy Thailand project. So this project involved a 1.5-year collaboration with the government of Thailand, with a leading role for the Office of the Vocational Education Commission, as well as the Office of the Education Council and various ministries, including the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation, and also the Ministry of Labour, among others. So it has been a true pleasure to work with Thailand on this important project, and the final report is scheduled to be published in July. So in this presentation, I'll present some of the key findings. So as an introduction, the project applies the OECD Skills Strategy framework to provide a strategic and comprehensive assessment of the performance of Thailand's skills system. So this approach already has been applied successfully in more than 22 countries. And our skills strategy framework is composed of these 3 interrelated dimensions as presented here. So the first is developing relevant skills across the life course, using your skills fully and effectively, and strengthening the governance of skills system, which is of course key to both the success of both developing and using skills. So the objective of this project is really to help build a resilient and adaptable skill system that will support Thailand to achieve.
Let's probably stop the video first. Okay.
And more specifically, this project supported Thailand by mapping the skill system, identifying policy priorities, identifying these good practices, making tailored policy recommendations, and there are 20 of them in the report, together with very specific actions as well, and to raise awareness to generate support for action to implement the policy reforms. So this project really combined the desktop research and direct engagement with officials and stakeholders, and it was truly a collaborative project that built on local insights from government officials and relevant stakeholders in several consultations. So there are 3 priority areas in this project, and I'll describe now each of them in a little bit more detail. So the first priority area focuses on strengthening the skills of youth in initial education, and ensuring access to high quality, relevant and inclusive opportunities in initial education is central to helping Thai youth acquire strong basic skills and develop positive attitudes towards learning. However, the report highlights that the quality of Thailand's initial education system remains a challenge. For instance, in the latest round of the PISA 2022 by the OECD, Thailand was one of the poorest performing countries in Southeast Asia. So to strengthen youth skills in initial education, Thailand should enhance quality and relevance of initial education, which is the first opportunity, and this can be achieved by advancing the curriculum reform and also expanding high-quality work-based learning in TVET. Secondly, promoting development of higher-level skills among youth through better career guidance and broader access to quality higher education is very important. And last but not least, reducing inequalities by ensuring quality teaching for all and also offering targeted support to disadvantaged students. And for each of these areas, the OECD developed very detailed recommendations with the specific actions that accompany them, and these are presented in the full report. But the second priority area is about fostering greater participation in adult learning. So increasing participation in adult learning is of course essential to foster a learning culture throughout life enabling adults in Thailand to respond effectively to the challenges that appear through digital transformation and the green transition as an example. However, our research really indicates that in 2022, only a significantly small proportion of Thai individuals have participated in formal and non-formal education and training in the previous 12 months. So to promote greater participation in adult learning, Thailand should first of all enhance the quality and labor market relevance of the learning opportunities, including by improving quality assurance and also aligning learning with skill shortages. Secondly, addressing these barriers to participation, and particularly time-related barriers, is very important, and this can be achieved through more flexible learning opportunities and targeted incentives. And last but not least, increasing participation in adult learning among disadvantaged groups is very important by improving access for informal workers and expanding online and community-based learning opportunities. And the last priority area is on strengthening the governance of the skills system. So given this cross-sectoral nature of skills policies, their effectiveness really depends on effective coordination of government efforts, meaningful engagement with non-governmental stakeholders, and the integration of comprehensive skills information. However, there are indications that despite that there are many good initiatives in Thailand already, there is room for improvement, as indicated by this figure about interministerial coordination. So to strengthen the governance of the skills system, Thailand could enhance the strategic capacity to better develop and design and implement skills policy. Fostering this whole government approach could be strengthened. Stakeholder engagement mechanisms could be improved. And also the skills information system is a crucial part to improve performance. So that was my very short presentation, and I hope it gives a bit of a general overview of the main findings of the report, but I will encourage you to read the final report when it is published in July, which gives you much more information. But thank you very much for now, and have a good day.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bastard, for the update on the OECD skills strategy for Thailand. We have seen 3 strategies that under the OECD recommends Thailand to develop our educational system. And next, we move to the last pillar of the TCP2. We welcome Ms. Suthasini Kakitikun from the Ministry of Energy. You have been involved with the project entitled the Clean Energy Financing and Investment Mobilization Roadmap for Thailand that launched in June last year. Could you please share the key findings and the recommendations of the project? The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much for OECD to invite me to present today. First of all, I would like to thank OECD and government of Denmark for supporting Thailand through the Clean Energy Finance and Investment Roadmap of Thailand program. I call in short CFIM program. This initiative have helped us develop a clear roadmap to attract more finance and investment into clean energy. Under the CFIM program, we focus on 2 main areas. First, small-scale renewable power, and second, for energy efficiency in building with focus on cooling system. For the first challenge and financial barrier of small-scale renewable power, at first, we choose to focus on small-scale renewable power that we focus on solar power. For the solar power, we have many challenges. For example, small businesses, especially in remote areas, often can't access finance or technical expertise. Secondly, there is policy uncertainties, and this process of getting permit and license is quite long and expensive. Thirdly, grid regulation are not always clear and supportive. There is not enough government support and innovative financing option for small projects. And to help us scale up investment in small-scale renewable energy, The study also recommend to strengthening policy planning, simplifying renewable licensing and permitting processing, and also require for small power producers. Thirdly, the recommendation review and strengthening existing public finance incentive to prioritize the acceleration of a small-scale and community-based renewable power model. And also, we should introduce pilot project of a green credit guarantee scheme for small-scale renewable power project. And for the last recommendation, for providing financial support to pay-as-you-go model to expand off-grid and community-based renewable energy. For the second area is about energy efficiency in building with focus on cooling system. The study find the challenge and barrier that there are many challenges. Most of ESCO model in Thailand are quite small in size and face challenge in accessing finance for energy efficiency project. And most of commercial banks in Thailand are quite not unfamiliar with the energy efficiency technology and ESCO business. And also the labeling of air conditioner is voluntary and does not apply to commercial building. And also means right incentive of building developer and owner. For the recommendation of the study, the study recommend that enhancing building code and also increase more minimum energy performance standard for building and cooling appliance. Conduct ex-post evaluation of energy efficiency revolving fund and the ESCO fund, and also using evaluation finding to support decision making on the need to for financing incentive to promote the ESCO fund in the future. And also establishing a bulk procurement model to energy efficient cooling appliance and pilot project for energy saving insurance model. For another recommendation is also develop energy efficiency technology list and cooperate with financial institute to provide financial incentive to the list of technologies. For the last recommendation for strengthening the policy framework for district cooling. From the result of the program give us a clear direction that the government can use to improve the upcoming alternative energy development plan and energy efficiency plan. However, to solve key problem of the country, the Thai cabinet also issue ministerial regulatory to remove the need to get a factory license from the authorities for all solar rooftop power generation. And also DEDE also issued a draft of act to promote solar power energy in the country. Thank you very much. And if you want to insight more, you can go to a website of OECD for the full report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Suthasini, for sharing the recommendation and the information. You can go to the OECD website for the full report. And last but not least, we are grateful to have Mr. Douglas Herrick from the OECD Environment Directorate. Actually, Thailand has actively participated in the OECD Sustainable Infrastructure in Asia or SIPA. Please share the output of SIPA in Thailand alongside with the key findings and the recommendations for issue.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So I'm Douglas Herrick from the Environment Directorate of the OECD. And the SIPA program, or the Sustainable Infrastructure Program in Asia, sorry, just trying to, doing things backwards. There we go. Is a program that's funded by the International Climate Initiative of the federal German government through the window reserved for the Environment Ministry. What makes us quite similar to a lot of the projects you've heard about today is that our main goal is to support the governments in emerging Asia, in this case Thailand, towards its goals. Since I'm sitting in the Environment Directorate, my primary interest is indeed climate change. And so the main goals here are to help Thailand on its path towards net zero emissions, as well as improving resilience against climate change shocks. We focus on 3 sectors for this, energy, transport, and industry. This is because our primary focus is on climate change mitigation, and these are the sectors with the largest share of greenhouse gas emissions. What makes us a little bit different from some of the projects you've heard about today is that it's not the OECD alone in our implementation of this. It's a consortium approach where we actually have, you see all the logos below on the screen there. We have a number of international partners. We've sort of pooled our resources and expertise to provide the best information we can to the Royal Government of Thailand. So my presentation, I'll be focusing obviously on the OECD part, as well as briefly on the International Transport Forum part. So, you've already heard a little bit about CEFIM today from our colleague at DD. This is a separate part of CEFIM. There's a part of it dealing with industry's net zero transition. Through SIPA, we developed the framework for industry's net zero transition, which is a 5-step approach for countries to develop decarbonization roadmaps for their key industries. In Thailand's case, petrochemicals and plastics were selected. This work is ongoing, so we don't have immediate results, but luckily they're coming up soon. This work under SIPA is being piloted in 2 countries, so it's Thailand, but also in Indonesia in this particular case. And then beyond SIPA's funding, they also have work you're also welcome to check out on the OECD or the CEFIM website, dealing with countries beyond the immediate region. So here, just to briefly say, NESDC is the government focal point for this project, as it is for all of SIPA's activities. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank NESDC for its great help in everything we've done. It wouldn't be possible without you, so thanks a million on that. I'll also briefly say that this work on industry is quite exciting because it really brings together a number of stakeholders. You can see how well packed this room is with my colleague Cécile, bringing together people from government ministries across portfolios, so really trying to break those silos that have been mentioned several times throughout this panel. Also from the industries in question, international partners, academia, and also, importantly, finance. Just to say, this work, like all of SIPA, is coming to an end relatively soon. They've already had a number of project meetings. The last one will be held actually in 2 weeks, so unfortunately I'm just missing some colleagues who will be here in Bangkok for the 3rd project meeting on market and financing solutions for decarbonizing industry. Their final report is due out in 2025. I'll go a lot quicker through this next one, which is just to say that SIPA, as I mentioned, really covers a lot of ground. So in addition to sectoral work, we have work on planning, on mainstreaming resilience into infrastructure development planning, and also crucially on mobilizing private sector finance. On this, we worked with the OECD's Center for Responsible Business Conduct. They have a report that was put out last year that provides an overview of the RBC situation situation in Thailand, as well as key recommendations for the future. The one highlight would be that, as you're already aware, Thailand is a bit of a leader in the region. It was the first to adopt a national action plan on business and human rights. But of course, there are areas to be strengthened in the future, including on labor rights legislation, on the processes for obtaining free, prior, and informed consent from local communities, and also on community engagement for environmental impact assessments. Lastly, just to show that we have a ton of other things going on, there's ongoing work under SEPA on the sort of upstream side of things, looking at the governance of infrastructure projects. This is in line with the OECD recommendation on the governance of infrastructure through the infrastructure governance indicators. And then crucially for me, and I'd really recommend that you all take a look on the OECD website, we have a dedicated portal for SEPA, is that we'll be having our final report that brings together all the recommendations from across SEPA's work. This has been going on since 2021. It covers a huge number of areas, and we'll have key prioritized recommendations for the Royal Government of Thailand. So take a look towards the end of the year, and we look forward to launching that work. And then briefly, just to point out, I won't go into detail, but we have work on decarbonizing and resilient transport infrastructure by our colleagues at the International Transport Forum, as well as through work with UNDP, the International Institute for Sustainable Development, and the Asian Institute of Technology, a Thai-based university. We have work on resilience and infrastructure planning, cost-benefit analysis, as well as sort of regional peer learning. Actually, I'm here right now for an AIT organized conference, which I'll have to return to tomorrow, that it aims to bring together peer countries from across the ASEAN region to share good policies on sustainable infrastructure. Thank you. I think I went over time. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Douglas. And I can see how active you and your partners are. And we look forward to seeing the full report by this year. And I'm sorry to say that, but we run out of time. We're 30 minutes behind the schedule. Therefore, I would like to conclude the session one. Thank you very much for all panelists today. Thank you very much. Please give the applause to the panelists. Thank you.
So after we will be waiting for the staff to set the scene, I would like to note that there won't be any breaks in between the sessions, so all participants may feel free to grab the snacks and drinks from outside and then come back to join the session. And we will begin the session 2 regarding the reflection on the OECD Thailand's cooperation moving forward. I'd like to invite the moderators and panelists of the session 2 to come up to the stage. First, let me introduce Mr. Tiarat Niamkopet Kadae, Advisor, South and Southeast Asia Division, OECD Global Relations and Cooperation Directorate, as a moderator. And the following panelists, Mrs. Salini Ponprapai, Deputy Director General Department of International Economic Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Thatthai Kiratipong Phaiboon, Director, International Strategy and Coordination Division, Office of the National Economic and Social Development Council. Ms. Natalie Limbasan, Head of Accession Coordination Unit, OECD Directorate for Legal Affairs. And last but not least, Mr. Alexander Bomer, Head of South and Southeast Asia Division, OECD Global Relations and Cooperation Directorate. And I'll hand over the floor to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the MC, and also good afternoon, colleagues from the Thai government agencies. As the moderator MC has introduced, my name is Tiarat Niamkopet Kadae, advisor at the Global Relations Cooperation Directorate at the OECD, and I'm very pleased to be here today to moderate the second session. This morning at the first session, we have already listened to colleagues presenting the implementations of the country program phase 2, and we have seen that many work had been done to the country program, which the impact has been evident, and this have prepared Thailand for the solid ground, preparing for the accession journey that we are ongoing. Without further ado, as the MC already introduced the panelists, and for the interest of time, I would go quickly to the questions. This session will be organized into 2 rounds of questions. First, we'll look back on our OECD Thailand cooperation in the past, as well as the accession process. And the second round, we will think about forward-looking on the perspective of our cooperation going forward. Today we have Deputy Director General Salini with us from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As Thailand has been participating in the country program since 2018 and now in the second phase in 2023, Thailand also the co-chair of Southeast Asia Regional Program between 2018 and 22. How would you evaluate the progress and impact of Thailand cooperation to date, and what lesson can be drawn from this partnership? Yes.
Thank you very much, and good morning to all. As I have heard all our colleagues share their experiences in all the 4 main pillars under the country program, it's clear that we have progressed quite well, in fact very satisfactorily. After joining the country program years ago, I think we have learned a lot from this experience. Before that, we may not have been so familiar with cooperation of this sort, but the leadership at the time has taken us until today, and I think it is a fertile ground from where we can grow quite well. We have learned to develop our participation in this important forum. This is a multilateral forum which we have tried to always participate as much as we could, and our colleagues in all the agencies that are involved have developed their network in their participation in respective areas. They have made a lot of friends, they have learned a lot of best practices. I think all that have happened so far is a very encouraging path, and from this I'm sure that we can move forward quite strongly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kun Salini, for this very insightful cooperation with Thailand. Now, moving to Mr. Alexander Bromer at the same questions. Since you have been heading the Southeast Asia team for over 10 years, you have seen the development between OECD Thailand cooperations. How would you evaluate the progress and impact of the OECD Thailand cooperations?
Works, because it...
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, excellent. I mean, I think we can say the OECD Thailand cooperation has been almost like a model case of how to engage with the OECD as a partner country. So starting with a very top-down engagement on the Prime Minister's level, and then having quite a few activities until around 2014 when we launched the Southeast Asia Regional Program and Thailand became more and more engaged then to take over the co-chairmanship in 2018. That was very important, and Thailand as a co-chair together with Korea have delivered quite a bit in terms of regional leadership at a difficult moment during the COVID crisis. For example, the MOU of OECD with ASEAN was a key output. And then in parallel, Country Program 1 and Country Program 2, of course, which so led to the accession request and now the start of the accession process. But what are the main lessons in a way? If you ask me on the lessons, I would say it's always demand and supply. So very important that Thai agencies are interested in working with OECD, but also very important that colleagues like Douglas and Ori, colleagues are traveling from the Secretariat to Thailand and engage with Thai agencies here in Bangkok. And that leads to impact where we have seen quite a bit of adherence to legal instruments by Thai agencies. And I would say also another lesson is that a strong legal and administrative culture is important for working with the OECD, and a kind of understanding and appreciation that international rule-making, international standard setting can have an important impact on your national regulations and developments. Take always the corporate governance codes example. So, for example, when you are part of the corporate governance committee, you actually co-decide what rules should apply to Thai companies, and so that actually has quite an impact. And this understanding is there. I think we can see it today and in many other meetings with Thai agencies. So that's the important lessons that a country has to have the strong legal and administrative culture like Thailand has. Many work streams, I think, have also included the private sector. I think that's very laudable as well, private sector consultations. And lastly, and probably I steal that point from Natalie, the strong coordination center is important for such a cooperation, and the NESDC have been doing a great work here also with Kun Vanchat and others, and together with, of course, the Foreign Ministry to deliver that. Thank you very much.
No. Hello. Yes. Thank you very much, Alex, for this few points that have been the lesson learned from our cooperations. Now we are moving to the second part of this round, which will focus on the accession of Thailand. So as you are aware that Thailand have a request for the accession to the OECD in February last year, and then we have launched the accession roadmap to Thailand last October. So since then, 6 months after we launched the roadmap, what the progress have been done in the NESDC and also in Thailand in general, and do you have any challenge that need to be addressed to make this process successful? I will move to Kun Thai for this question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kun Tiarat. And as you just mentioned, we started the accession process last year, and we got the roadmap from the OECD Council. And from that point, we have established the national committee, namely the supervisory committee on the accession to the OECD for Thailand, and chaired by the Prime Minister. And we have the two deputy Prime Minister to be the vice chair of the committees. And we now establishing 3 subcommittees to work on the specific issues, the domestic issue, the international relationship issue, and the another one is like the legal issues. So we're going to use this mechanism to manage and to accelerate the process to become the membership of the OECD. And yes, so far we have discussed with the line ministries, the relevant ministries and the agencies about the process and how to follow the roadmap launched by the OECD Council. And we have seen a number of challenges, to be fair, right? Because we know that the standard, the OECD standard, is not the new thing for us, but to implement and to make it happen is the challenging things, especially in this day that you see like the many international challenges like the geopolitical things and many others. Circumstances around the world, and that's why we're gonna use this time to understand ourselves. That we conduct the IM, the initial memorandum, to see the gap between as is and the to be, like to reach the OECD standard. And we're gonna spend around like few years to make it happen. And we commit to become the member of the OECD by 2030s.
Thank you very much, Kun Thai, for this very informative information about the challenge and also the goal that set for Thailand to become the OECD member. So the next questions, it will be also on the accessions. Kun Natalie Limbasen, who is the head of accession unit, and she has been involved in the accession candidate country, both in the Latin American countries, Southeast Europe country, and also now Southeast Asia. based on your experience working with different candidate countries, could you please share with us what are the best practices that you would recommend for Thailand and to make this process successful?
Thank you very much, Kun Tiarat, for the question, and good afternoon to everyone. So as Tiarat mentioned, we are now in a process with Thailand since last year, but it's actually, of course, not the first accession process that the OECD has been focusing on. For myself, it is the 12th process now. So I think there are a few lessons that we have learnt working with different countries, different regions, and I would say at least 3 ingredients for success. The first one is the one that Alex mentioned. He stole from also as a positive experience from the country program, and it's really strong coordination. Strong coordination is important at different levels and in different ways. At its core, the accession process to the OECD is really a technical process. So as most of you will be aware, there is a review by 25 technical committees, and those technical committees deal with a range of policy areas, from environment, competition, SOEs, areas that Thailand has dealt with under the country program, but also other areas, new areas, chemicals, investment, etc. So that will require very strong cooperation within line ministries and agencies amongst them, because of the different areas involving different competences within one policy overview area. It will also require strong coordination between line ministries and agencies involved in those policy areas and your coordination functions. So NESDC, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In the first instance, also your Office of State Counsel, who are responsible for the preparation of the initial memorandum, which is the first step in the accession process. In addition, it will mean strong coordination with the OECD Secretariat. We will be your partners in this process, and we will lead you through the technical reviews that are then conducted and discussed together with our members. The country program has provided you with a flavor of this, not only because it was an exercise in practical cooperation, but also because you see some of the outputs from the reviews that were also discussed in the first panel, and the recommendations that come out of those. For example, the competition review that will be launched tomorrow. When you read through those recommendations, you will see there isn't one authority, one line ministry responsible for carrying that out. People will have to come together across ministries, across agencies in order to make that happen. And at the OECD, importantly, Thailand will be speaking with one voice. Second key ingredient, I would say, is really to use the accession process as a toolbox and also an integration process. And what I mean by that, in terms of toolbox, you'll be receiving more recommendations in all these other areas that so far Thailand has maybe not had much experience in the OECD with. Some of those you can use as a justification to move forward with certain things you might have wanted to do in any event. We will be providing recommendations that are evidence-based, that have been tried and tested, and it will really be for Thailand also to judge and decide to what extent can you use those for your own purposes and to push structural and policy reform. At the same time, when I say it's a way to integrate into the organization, the end goal is of course membership. You are now invited to participate in all of our work virtually. So it's not just about coming and being evaluated, it's about coming and starting to impact the dynamic, which actually just over the last few months we've already seen Thailand doing and have had very positive echoes from our membership already. So that's very impressive. Considering in particular that you're the most recent accession country. And then thirdly, as another ingredient for success, I would mention having a whole of country approach. Again, this touches on what other panelists have said now, but also in the previous panel, engaging with the private sector, engaging with CSOs, engaging with Parliament. Engaging means talking about why Thailand has chosen to go on the accession path. What does it mean for them? What does it mean for the country as a whole? What will be the benefits of the process? And this will be particularly important when reforms start to come through, when it's necessary to have support at different levels again for pushing some of these reforms forward. Parliament, perhaps I could highlight, has a particular role to play in that, and we often also recommend, therefore, considering setting up a special committee within Parliament that is responsible for driving forward and being a friend of the OECD, driving forward the reforms that come in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Natalie, for secret ingredients to help Thailand to implement accession process successfully. Now we are moving to the second part of this round. We'll have one question to each panelist. It will be the same questions, and you have 2 minutes each to answer to these questions. We want to hear from you your visions on the OECD and Thailand like cooperation in the future. Are there any specific area or initiative that Thailand and OECD can work together to strengthening our relationship and partnership? I will first give the floor to Kun Salini, as the foreign minister had many roles and leading roles in OECD Thailand cooperation and also the Southeast, leading the regional work as well.
Thank you. I think I'd like to share with you a big picture of how we move forward as part of our attempt to join the OECD. I think that our engagement with the OECD is an important part of our foreign policy and national development plan as well, which of course has many reasons behind it. Mainly, we'd like to advance our economy and society towards a more efficient, a more resilient, and a more competitive country as well. And that is one of the reasons that we'd like to enhance our engagement with the OECD. I think it's been mentioned many times that the OECD itself would like to expand your engagement with this region and Southeast Asia in particular. At this point, I think Thailand can play an important role. We are trying to expand our reach, not only among this region, but also in the Asia Pacific and beyond. Recently, we were chair of an international grouping in the Bay of Bengal called BIMSTEC. We are also sharing many other international groupings. One of these is the Asia Cooperation Dialogue, or ACD. I mention this because our chairmanship and our role in these groupings is an opportunity where we can expand what we learn from the OECD and what we have as we experience our work with you in order to synergize our work with our participation in other platforms as well. By this, I think we can echo and reflect our experience and can help the OECD to expand your reach as well as to learn. We heard a lot about the mutual learning, not just that we learn from you, but you also hopefully learn from us and many friends that we have. And because of this, I think this is the way that we can actually advance our partnership. We look forward to having many work on the capacity building, for example, in the pillars that we mentioned today, energy, AI, and many other areas too. I think by this we can echo your aim, and we can also fulfill our dreams to move towards better lives from better policy for better lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kun Salini. So I will say I have the same questions to another panelist from Thailand. So Kun Thai, we have the same questions. And what is your visions on the future?
Thank you very much. I think we will focus on the accession process. It's gonna take time, like 4 or 5 years from now on. For this year, we focus on the IM, and we need the advice from the OECD partners, especially from Natalie yourself. And for the another thing is that we might need the advice or the recommendations from the other OECD countries, right, the members, because you know that we want to know or to learn from the other countries. The experiences can help us adapt or change our things to reach the OECD standard easier. And the second thing is that I think the collaboration between OECD and Thailand might be the things, you know that now we are approaching to we are now about to draft the new plan, development plan of Thailand. We call it the 14th plan, and we thinking about the context of the world, the global context, the standard of things, and we are now seeking the collaboration with the international organizations to help us to strategizing the future or something like to do the foresight, and we might work together on this issue as well.
Thank you very much for this very insightful information on our futures. Now next, moving to Mr. Alexander Bromer, the same questions. What is your vision on the future of OECD and any initiative that you would like to highlight? Thank you.
Yes, sorry. I fully agree with Kun Chutai's assessment. There are so many things the OECD can do with Thailand, but indeed focus is important. So please do focus on the accession process. It's comprehensive enough. There are 26 committees, and the roadmap, which is available on the public internet, shows you many recommendations already, and then the reviews will add to that. So I think that's obviously the key priority, and it's also the most visible outcome when it happens. It will be a very important communication to the international investor community, to the international community at whole, when Thailand eventually becomes an OECD member. And I think it's therefore clearly a key project. Related is we're thinking about ways on strengthening our local presence here in Bangkok, and we have made good experiences with having even only one staff person in countries, in partner countries, and this is also a contribution which then would focus to support the accession process mainly. Kun Chutai, you mentioned the next development plan. I understand that Danusha, your SG, is also interested in strategic foresight as one of the areas to inform your national development planning. There's a new work stream which we can offer. And then maybe let me just close saying, of course, the resilience to economic shocks is a theme since the financial crisis, since COVID, and also since recent geo-economic policy challenges, namely in the trade policy field. And we are here to support you, like we did over the COVID period. We did, for example, a review of the SME support schemes to support resilience of SMEs in terms of crisis, in terms of external shocks. And also the accession process has many elements which can be seen as supporting this resilience and supply chain, and also supporting diversification of export markets, to name a few. So we are here to support you also in I think what is probably in 2025 the most important geo-economic challenge we're all facing. So this is my answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alex. Now I move to Kun Natalie for the last panelist to the same.
Thank you very much. I think you've heard a little bit about immediate next steps and the process and what we expect it will bring in terms of what do we expect as the end goal. Of course, that is membership. Membership is the highest form of collaboration. The country program, as you're aware, is one form of global relations tools that we have, but membership is what we will all be working towards together over the next few years. At the same time, and as I said previously, Thailand now has access to all of our technical work. What will change at the end is that Thailand will have a seat at the decision-making table within our council, and will therefore contribute also to the future path that the organization takes, and we very much look forward to that.
Thank you very much, Kun Natalie, and thank you very much, the panelists. We have listened to our panelists about what cooperation between OECD and Thailand means, and now we have a lot of homework for us and for the Thai as well, that to move forward on the accessions, and we have to make this a meaningful process and also the successful process. And we, as a Global Relation Cooperation Directorate, and the legal department are standing ready to support you in our process to this very, very important. And again, thank you very much all the panelists, and we'd like to give back the floor to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all the panelists and the moderator as well. Without further delay, I would like to invite Mr. Wanchat Suwankiti, Deputy Secretary General of the National Economic and Social Development Council, to deliver the closing remarks. Please.
Mr. Alex Bomer, the head of South and Southeast Asia Division, OECD, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank all the moderator and the speakers to give us a very good speak this morning. And this brings us to the end of the meeting, but it's not the end of the accession process. That's the starting point. We still have a lot to do. I'm confident that we have not only reflect on our achievement in implementing projects under OECD Thailand Country Program Phase 2, but also share and gain fresh insight on a range of issues important to help us navigate through the transformation of the country to achieve our goals of being an advanced and sustainable value creation country. As this opportunity, I would like to thank the OECD, who has played a key role in the country program, and extend my appreciation to all Thai agencies that have been part of the journey. The participation of all relevant Thai agencies today clearly demonstrates our strong enthusiasm and commitment to the accession process and our aspiration of becoming OECD member by 2030. In closing, I would like to reaffirm our commitment to align with OECD standard and practice, as well as emphasize that being a member of the OECD not only supports Thailand's aspiration to join the organization, but also strengthen and enhance the country's sustainable competitiveness on the global stage. This is our commitment to become the OECD members. Thank you so much, and ขอบคุณครับ and สวัสดีครับ
Thank you so much, DSG of the NESDC, for the closing. That is very impactful. I would like to invite Mr. Alexander Bomer, Head of South and Southeast Asia Division, to deliver the last closing remarks. Please.
Thank you very much, dear MC, for excellent work. Dear Kun Wanchat, dear colleagues and friends, of course, on behalf of the OECD, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the leadership of NSDC and all the agencies here in the room for the successful conclusion of this midterm review. I think it was important that we come together at halftime to take stock where we stand, and I think the results are very encouraging, so we can go now into the next 12 months, into the final 12 months of this program. I think there are remarkable achievements, and we see also promising areas emerging from that. Themes like public governance have been widely addressed, competition policy, education, clean energy, sustainable infrastructure, to name a few. Colleagues, I can say that we are very proud about the country program of Thailand. It's the only country program in Southeast Asia. It has been really a remarkable tool to support the preparation of Thailand to this accession process, which now, of course, is for us the corporate end game, if you want, and your work, the work of the agencies, is very much appreciated here. As said, going forward, the strong coordination mechanism will continue to be a key success factor, and we count on even more engagement from all the agencies. And there's an invitation for some of you also to take the opportunity to come and join the OECD Secretariat as a secondee for a couple of months or half a year. Vishitra, who's just with us from the MFA, can tell you some experience from her stay in Paris. She came at the right time, basically the spring and the summer period, so it's a good practice. But in all seriousness, I think, as said, and to conclude really also this important meeting, we are in challenging geopolitical times and in times of economic uncertainty, and our work and our cooperation, I think, is the best way to enhance our mutual resilience, us as an international organization, as part of the multilateral system, and you as a government trying to serve the Thai people for their economic advancement. And we may go back to Paris with a long list of things to do, but we will do so together with you to further strengthen this partnership on to the next chapter. And with that, I'm looking forward to seeing you then again in 2026 for the conclusion of this second country program. Thank you so much, and Kopen Kap.
Well, thank you so much for such amazing closing remarks. I hope that everyone have gained a lot of informative and insightful perspectives from the meeting today. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to serve you as your MC today. So the meeting has reached an end. I would like to note a little bit for anyone that hasn't gotten the coupon for the lunch yet. You can basically go and get it at our registration table, and then give it to the staff at the opposite side of the meeting room. Thank you very much for coming today. ขอบคุณค่ะ